Welcome to this playthrough of Auburn Crown. Today we're up to turn 25. The replay shows that the dwarf attack into Imhotep is a serious one. It continues on. And Draka, of course, has been on his last legs for quite some time. Not sure why he didn't take that capital, but there must be a reason for it. Draka will retreat into his lair at Ymurin Vale, so continue to fight on at least until that has been taken. Alright, so I've lost one of my giants, and this unit here, I've left it there and keep on forgetting to move it, so it deserves to be given a bit of a smack. Okay, so these are the things that I lost, and not a lot of messages this time, which is good. And these are my spies giving me some information coming back. This message is about the size of my Potentian army. It's getting too big. Well, it's not too big yet. It's up to at least 8 veteran and elite units, so I can have up to 10 before it starts taking 200 gold pieces out. I'm going to place the elite. I'm thinking about actually attacking Malkan from the east as well as defending Glutenheim, so I'll place it here. And I'm pretty sure that Moradon will renew its attack at some stage, so I'll place the small humanoids over in the west. Alright, and Dania, placing the sappers over in the east because they're going to be needed at some stage to defend against a Angford counterattack, and I'll put another one in the south for the operation against the mutineers. Alright, having a look down here, I'll just continue to move across towards the west just to see what sort of forces I'm going to be encountering along the way. I've got 2 leaders, so I should be able to keep the supply up. And pressing the S key on the keyboard shows me, first time I press S, it shows me the supply this turn. When I press S again, it shows me supply next turn, and then S again to toggle it off. Alright, up to Glutenheim again. I'm not going to let him get away with that, so I'll take out the elite unit, and I can see that there is another couple of units there that I could hit. And I'll do a little bit more damage to that elite unit, bring my own elite unit down. This might be a little bit cheeky, because now it exposes that elite unit to a counterattack. Just move a few units around, have a look at what Draka's doing. Now, like I said, the Morbright was not taken, so I'm just going to see if I can actually get some of these air units to escape. At least for now. They won't last very long. And this one I will hit the port again of Donsborough and have a look at what's going on down there. Angnord has been reduced to just a sliver of land from between Watersbend and Donsborough, but it can become more powerful again later, assuming the Vikings let it live. Okay, now it's time to put my my explorer to sea. Now I have to use a long-range transport, because when I get to the base camp has to be set up. So there isn't actually one there, which means that a transport is just not going to do it, and a short-range transport amphibious transport is going to take forever to get there. So long range is the way to go for Ingrid the Explorer. We'll move her up next turn, and the turn after that we should be able to land in Arctio. Oh, well, not in Arctio. We've got to get to Arctio first. We'll get to the ice circle first. Now, Mutiner looks like it's going to last a little bit longer because I'm still not ready, even though the mud has finally disappeared. I'll just move into position, getting ready for the attack when it eventually comes. Alright, continuing to get the Armada back together again. The only ports that can increase the fleets up to 10 strength are the ones around Lewiston. Still not convinced that Mermont is completely reliable, so I'm not going to put any points into them at this stage. So just looking at the purchases that I've got here, I'm going to purchase that special unit there. The special units are your high-powered, high-leveled magic users, clerics, and priests of the various gods. They have extra power. They have a range of 2, and they can do quite a bit of damage, and they demoralize their targets quite a bit. So they're very, very useful and powerful units. Just increase the value of those militias. Not really likely to need them for a while, but just because I can. And Potentia, because it's right on the edge of that 10 unit limit, it has 2 choices. It can buy, or any country in this situation, it can buy different types of units, not veterans, not elites, not cavalry, or, as in the case of Potentia, it has colonies for which it can make purchases. So they still get their units, they just go to the colonies rather than to them. That way they avoid that 10 unit limit and increase their strength. So the Golden Carnate is not ready to attack into Sinai yet, and I also really need to remember to increase the power of Transorum Imperium too, so that they can support that attack into Sinai. So I'll just increase their strength at this stage. And we'll continue to build up ready for the attack when it eventually comes. I have 100 points that I can spend, so I think scouting is the way to go. It's worth 100, and it's quite useful once, especially for the sea units, because the sea hunters will get an extra hex of spotting for each level of scouting. So they could potentially, by the time that it's been researched to 2 levels, be able to see 3 hexes, which is very, very handy. Alright, Imhotep. Just going to have to defend against this determined dwarf attack. And looking out, See if there's any diplomacy. Well, there is, and I can afford it. So we'll put that into the Iron Authority. They're up to 72%. Very nice to have them on board. The hobgoblins of Iron Authority. Pirate Kingdom, we've got a good relationship with them because they are as corrupt as we are in Jotunheim. And the Vikings will need to increase their representation with their colonies. And Dania can put a couple of chits in to Aramis Island. That's more of a Potentia concern, but we have a bit of connection with them, and the same with the Pirate Kingdom. Potentia doesn't have enough, and Golden Carnate can influence Chult. It's a bit more expensive. It is 50 gold pieces for them, but I think that's what I'll do anyway. Right, time to end the turn. Okay, so I've moved Aramis. Good. Marching formation, always good to have that. Volley is moving up. The ships are going to be able to really put a bit of power in. Gunpowder for Andania. I'll need to buy some gunpowder units. And marching formation for Potentia. So this is our balance sheet. Doesn't look too bad at all. So we'll leave it there, and thank you for watching. See you next time.